Dawn. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. We've been communicating back and forth, so I feel like we've established a rapport already.
Yes, we have. I changed songs on you like 10 times by now.
And that's
No,
okay.
you can't play the songs for me. I have to play the songs because I can't hear them. See, I'm going to show you. I
Okay.
have my big, huge speakers bigger than my head.
Yes. I love
Yes,
it.
this is my
I love
USB
it.
speaker. And yeah, it's like being in concert.
I love it. I love it. It's
It's
all
so
good.
huge. Yeah.
Well, awesome. Well, thank you so much for doing this. I'm
Thank you
excited
for having
to chat
me.
with you. Absolutely. Absolutely. So I have to start out by asking, hang on one second, let me adjust this.
Yeah, I'm going to turn you up a little bit.
Okay. All right. There we go. It's a little
There
better.
we are. Yes, exactly. It is. Well, I had to
Perfect.
turn you up, but yeah, you look great.
Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate it. So do
Yes,
you.
I love your head wrap. Exactly.
Thank you. A little bit of sunshine for the day.
Yes, we need that. We need
Don't
that
we?
right now in this place.
Don't
Yes, we
we?
do.
Absolutely. So let's talk a little bit about that. 2020 has been a year. So many things have happened. How
Mhm.
have you been maintaining your energy as a person during this year?
I don't get involved with the world, and
There
I
you go.
know it sounds funny to say that, or for people to hear that, but if we allow the news, we don't know what's true, what's false. We don't know what's real, what's not. If we allow the news to infiltrate our minds and our spirit, it's just like it permeates your psyche. So Terry used to always say this anytime there was bad news. She's like, don't tell me. Don't tell me. I don't want that in my heart. I don't want that in my spirit. And I was like, in your spirit, I'm just telling you something, that happened, or a train wreck that happened, or a plane crash. And she's like, no, don't, because, I understand what she meant by that. A lot of times we can take on what's happening in the world and it can be overwhelming. I just sent about 5 or 6 friends of mine a video on a woman who prays. I'm not church bound. I'm not a Bible thumper by any means, but I know that God is real.
Hmm.
And there's a higher power bigger than us. So she was just praying, and she said, no president, no leader of the free world, no leader of any world can control what we do. Don't fall into the fear factor. I just sent it yesterday to a few friends on Instagram because I was overwhelmed. I'm just so overwhelmed sometimes, and it's just COVID. We put on masks, and they tell us we shouldn't. The masks are not working, so we need a freaking vaccine. But only Black people should take it first. Like, I'm like, come on, y'all. You're not fooling nobody. So yeah, so I trust in God and I leave it in his hands, because a lot of times I say this, I've been saying this for years. Whenever there's something that is bigger than us that we can't handle, what happens when you have a loved one in the hospital? Immediately, even people that don't believe in God very much, you're like, God, oh my God. That's the first thing they say, oh my God.
Yeah.
And then they're like, they say a small prayer or a silent prayer to themselves, God, please pull them through, or let her come through this, or you know what I mean? It's like, okay, I thought you were an atheist a minute ago. So there is a higher power that we do look to, and whatever we want to call it, the universe, a higher power, the powers that be, Mother Nature, whatever it is, we know that there's something bigger than us. And outside of the ego of human beings, it's something that we can rely on. So I look to God, I look to my maker,
Yeah.
and I've just kind of like, it's hard to ignore, because even if you don't watch the news and you don't turn on the television, it's still on Instagram. It's on Facebook. It's all over social media. And I'm like, I did not want to know that David Bowie died today, or Natalie Cole died today. Let me find out later.
Yeah.
Aretha Franklin passed away. Like, oh, every time I'm
Right.
like, oh, they're always posting bad news. I'm like, stop. I tell a girl named Phonice, she's probably over here on here right now. I'm like, Phonice, you're always giving the bad news. This person died, or we got a bad storm coming in. And I'm like, just go into your own inner chamber, as they say in the Bible. Go into your own inner chamber. And I send prayers out to the world, because I know we have a scary situation with these presidents. I call Biden, I call him blinded, because he's done just as much bad stuff as Trump. He had 8 years in office with one of the only Black presidents we'll probably ever see, and he made no changes for us. Not one. As far as the police brutality thing, because during Obama's watch, Trayvon Martin died. It was killed. He didn't die. He was killed. He was murdered.
Yes.
Michael Brown, yeah, the guy that was saying in San Francisco said he can't breathe, and they choked him out like right in front of the world. I mean, there's so many black men that died on his watch too. So it's no, you know, yeah, we have a president that feels like he's very prejudiced and very racist. I think they're infiltrating that and making it worse than what it is. And so we don't know the truth.
Yeah.
I did a reality show and they put words in my mouth. I made a comment about something off camera, but my microphone was on.
Mm-hmm.
And they used that little piece to make it seem like I was saying something else that I wasn't saying. And I was like, you gotta be, yeah, they're clever. They're clever. So I just put everything that is human bound or human based or human run in God's hands.
Sure.
That's all I can do. And I use this time too. I was trying to tell people, use this time that you're on lockdown. You know, that's also martial law. I don't feel right about being locked in my house and being told that we can't leave. But then it's okay to open the schools. And then it's okay to open certain restaurants. But then we're going to close them down again. So they're destroying economy for people. It's like, oh, wear your mask when you go into the restaurant, but then when you sit down and get your food, you can take it off. Like, really? So COVID leaves when you get your food? Come on, man. I keep telling people, think for yourselves, figure it out for yourself, and go to God and ask what is happening. Get some kind of answers within.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And don't be so fearful, because we're quick to believe, oh my God, they said this. Oh my God, they said, just like they're running us around like crazy. The media knows how to use our fear against us. Yeah, yeah. You know this.
It's very manipulative.
Very, yes.
So you did mention in passing the reality show that you did.
Yes.
I was excited by the concept of having all of these R&B divas in one room, in one place.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I loved the idea. But then seeing the execution thereof, it was a great concept. But seeing the execution thereof and how it became just another bicker fest, and the editing, which I've seen for myself firsthand behind the scenes, they definitely can
so you know.
out. They cut it up, they make it look differently. I've had my own personal experience with it. It was a mess. But how do you feel about that experience in hindsight?
You know, at first, they came to me and asked me if I could do Atlanta Housewives. Divas.
Right.
Atlanta Divas. And I said, well, for one thing, I live in Los Angeles. I don't want to relocate. Excuse me. I don't want to represent Atlanta because I don't live there. I love Atlanta, but I don't live there. So I can't say, hey, let's go to this particular cafe, or let's go over here across town to this, you know, during the show to have certain meetings and stuff. I couldn't, what do you call it? Give suggestions on places to hang out, or we should go here and talk, or we should go to this restaurant and have a conversation, and then, so they said, okay, we're going to come up with another concept. So they hit me back about 7 months later and said, we have an idea to do the LA Divas. And then I was like, what? Okay. Let me talk to my mom. Let me pray about it like I always do and ask God if this is the right thing to do. And I did. And I said, my mom said, well, you know what? This is it's a good commercial for people who haven't seen you in a long time. They don't know what happened to you, where you're at, you know, and use it to your advantage, you know, tell them what you're doing now and where you're going. And maybe they can have some sessions where they come and follow you into the studio and they're watching you, you know, sing in the studio, not perform, but sing in the studio and record your new music. So I was like, okay. So I said, yes. They said, and I said, but under these conditions, 2 conditions. I will not fight with the other members. I don't know, because they don't tell you who's going to be on the show before you actually get on. They want it to be a secret. And I was like, that already feels like sneaky BS, behind the scenes stuff. And I was like, okay. So I said, I will not fight with any of the members on the show or any of the cast members. And I want to use this platform to motivate, because for 8 years of my social media life, I was on every day putting up a positive message just to get people through their day and reminding people that, you know, you can go to a 9-to-5 and make your boss richer, but at the same time, you should be also creating your own wealth, your own business. We're all born with something amazing in our stomach. We all have something inside of us that says, when I get older, when I get big and I grow up, I'm going to do this thing. And so I was like, I have to continue to motivate people. And they said, okay, yeah, we don't want a messy show. We want a very positive show. We want to show all of the cast in a very positive light. All the other women, and you know, they feel the same way that you do. They've told us the same thing. And I'm like, cool. Soon as I signed on the dotted line, they said,
bait and switch. Bait and switch.
They were like, bait and switch. We got you now. Oh my God. It was a lot of the stuff that I see. I'm just like, I can't. I only watched a few episodes because I couldn't. It was such a parody, or it became such a joke. I was embarrassed. I didn't watch the last episode because that was with me and a little Mo getting in my face. I mean, I was just like, okay. So, and when I left that scene with little Mo, I literally they have these little battery packs that you put on, a microphone pack.
Yeah.
And you have, where's the microphone? Sometimes they would clip it on your shirt, or where do they put the microphones? In this case, they had it on our shirts. A little tiny, you couldn't see it. And they put it on the inside of your shirt so it would hide. And I took the microphone, and I was trying to get it off in the last scene with her. And I took the microphone pack off. I went out into the lobby of the theater that we were in, because that's where all the production was sitting, and they were watching on their cameras, on their computers, I should say. And I said, finally, and I slammed the microphone pack down, and I said, you got the black girls to fight. You got what you wanted. You got all the calamity and all the bullshit. You got step and fetch it. That's exactly what you got today. I said, but you are not going to get her to hit me, and I was not going to hit her. You would have had a lawsuit on your hands. Do not call me back for anything. I don't want to come back to this place, because I told you guys before I even did this, I did not want fighting. I'm a peaceful person. I grew up like that. I would fight with my sister and disagree on stuff, argue, but there was no fist fights. I wasn't going to, and I'm not about to start at this age. No way. Yeah. I like my face. I'm not
it makes you money.
Yeah, I'm not no, but the money wasn't even, oh my God, the money was a joke. So I'm thinking, just like you see every episode come on once a week, I thought that that's how they pay you. And it wasn't like that at all. It was, they would pay us every 18 days, every 21 or 22 days. It was random. Every time we filmed, I thought we were going to get paid. That's what I'm saying. And we were not. It was not like that at all. We would do like 5 or 6 episodes in a week and only get paid once every 2 weeks, I think it was, or every 21 days. Like I said, it was crazy.
Wow.
So yeah, it wasn't worth what was, a couple of the cast members bought into the fact that they told them that they were going to do a spinoff and they'd have their own show. So turn up. So, little Mo turned up, and Shantae Moore said some things about her ex-husband that were unnecessary. I was just like, Kelly Price gave her some real words of wisdom from mother to mother, because I didn't have kids. Remember, that was part of this, one of the scenes. And Kelly Price told her, she said, and this was off camera, we both have children. You and your kid's father is your son's hero. Your son is 9 years old, and he goes to school, and his friends are saying, oh, I saw your mom, and your mommy said that your dad is gay, or that, you know what I mean? It's like, whatever is going on with Kenny Lattimore's life, that is his business. Keep that between you guys. Don't bring that into because you're only doing this for ratings, and who gets the money for the ratings? The production company.
Correct.
You know what I mean? The television show, TV One, and then it was Think Factory Media. Yeah. So don't make a calamity out of your life just to get ratings, because it's not going to help anybody except the production company and Think Factory Media, and TV One. You don't get paid for that. And she's like, well, I can get my own show. Yeah, they told you that. But is it really a reality? And I said, and she said, and more than that, you're hurting your son. That is his hero. If Kenny Lattimore wants to come out to the world and say, I'm gay and I was in the closet, but I love men and I love women too, but I love men more. And I just was confused as a young man, and I knew I was gay, but I was afraid. And now I'm coming out of the closet. That is his business. It's not up to you to do that. So just from woman to woman, keep that. And she came on the show and said it. She called him out. Yeah. So I just thought, sometimes as human beings, we have to think about the risk we're taking and the things that we're doing that are hurting other people. We don't ever think, it's like, yeah, but I could get my own show. Yeah, but you can hurt your son. And that relationship that you have with him is forever. This show is just a minute. That's a moment in your life. But you know what I mean? So I was just like, okay, I am done. I will not be back. They call me back because every Thursday they would do a, excuse me, a review of the week before.
Okay.
Yeah, and they wanted me to talk about the whole scene with Little Mo. And I was like, you guys know what happened because you were there.
Right. Right.
And they were like, well, no, we want you to tell the, so Dawn, and it was an Asian girl that was in production, I forgot what her title was, but she was like, Dawn, so can you, when you're talking about Little Mo and that scene that you had with her, can you do this? Girl. Oh yeah.
Wow.
Please, are you kidding me? What? Bitch, please. I was like, no.
Wow.
And we had agreed as cast members that what I said to them was, Shantae, you know, Little Mo, Michelle, Claudette, and Kelly Price and myself. The only people that came to that meeting, because Kelly Price called it, and it was just me and who else showed up? I want to say Little Mo, Michelle. Everybody didn't show up. All of a sudden they agreed, but then they had things to do. Oh, I'm busy with this. Oh, my son is not home yet. Oh, all this stuff. So we agreed that just because production tells us that we have to do certain things doesn't mean we actually have to carry them out. We can resolve issues with each other. If they want us to fight with each other, we can resolve it. We can disagree on camera and resolve it on camera. And this is what I told the production. I was like, if you guys want us to do all that, bitch, please. They wanted me to be the black girl. Oh, what? I don't think so. What? You know, all that. And I was like, I don't even talk like that with my friends. I mean, occasionally I'll say a little something like, okay, that's stupid. Like, bitch is stupid. But I don't talk like that. And I don't all of that next stuff. I am not Cardi B. I love her. But you know what I mean? I'm not all that. And it's like, and I said, and you're assuming that all black women are that. And I'm insulted that you would think that about us. Occasionally when we're with our friends, we hang out, we say certain things, yes, but I'm not about to sit here and do that on camera. You're not going to get the step and fetch it from me. That's not going to happen. And so we agreed behind the scenes, all the girls agreed that anytime we're on camera, we have to smile because they want to catch us mean. They want to catch us mad mugging and looking angry.
Yeah.
The angry black woman. So we were like, hey, I said, no, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to say bitch please for you. If I do, it's going to be like this. Just like I normally talk. I'm not going to do the whole, because no, you're not getting that. And they were like, oh. She was so pissed off at me, she could not take it. Like, get out of this room. Don't come back. That's what she wanted to tell me. Yeah.
Wow. So I will say the necessary evil of promotion in this digital streaming age is just not like it used to be. I'll mention that it's the 30th anniversary of En Vogue's debut album. It is, and so we'll talk about that more in a moment. But in that time period, we've all witnessed so many changes in the music industry and how things are done. Reality TV for a lot of artists, has become that necessary evil of promotion. Exactly. Would you step back into that world under any circumstances?
What, the reality show?
Yes.
You know, I asked them why. I'm sorry, I'm trying to adjust my lighting. I asked them, why is it that certain shows don't have that kind of calamity and that kind of bullshit on the shows? Sorry, I cursed, Jason. I have a potty mouth.
Too. Me too. Fuck it. Done. Yes.
Virtual high five.
Hey.
So I said, why do you allow certain shows to have, you know, that calamity, that step and fetch it, the buffoonery from black people? But then you have other shows that are very pleasant. They talk about what the families are doing, and they said, you got it. That's exactly why. It's a family. They have children on those shows, and we're not going to exploit the children. I said, oh.
Wow.
So you're going to exploit us as black women, but you're not going to exploit children, which I'm grateful for. I'm glad, because usually they don't care. They want ratings, because ratings brings money, and they don't care. So I was like, okay. So now I get it. But I said it's unfortunate, because at the time I was dating this white guy from Wales, and I wanted to talk about the fact that some people were upset with me dating a white guy. It still happens. It's still, you know, we still have a problem with, oh, she's a celebrity. Why is she going to get it with a white guy?
Yeah.
Why not? He's somebody that I met, somebody that I happened to hit it off with. I like where he came from mentally. And so, yeah, we dated. And why is that a problem? Who I date is my business. Right. Who I sleep with behind the scenes is my business, nobody else's. So I wanted to get into that. In fact, he was a pro, he used to be a pro soccer player. So he had all of these great ideas for the show. And he told production one day, he was on set with me, and he said, can we you know, I have huge connections with Home Depot Center and I'm sorry, Home Depot Center is here in Vegas. No, no, Home Depot Center is in LA. One of the different arenas where the major soccer games are played.
Okay.
Galaxy. The Galaxy team is Los Angeles soccer team. And he knows all the people, so he got me a jersey made. We went and we sat in the VIP box, and there was food laid out and all this beautiful VIP area, what was going on in the VIP area. So he said, why don't we bring some of the girls to see a soccer game? You know, they can meet some of the teammates, they can meet the coach. We can do something different than what we always did, which was, girl, let's meet down here for a drink. Girl, let's go to this restaurant. I said, if I eat another meal, I'm gonna be massive. Like, can we do something other than go to a black church? Can we do something? Can we go to a Catholic church? Something different, just to talk about. Wow, this is different than a black church. They don't have all the. They're not doing that, and I'm not feeling that because of that. But okay, this is their way of doing things. Let's go into other areas of life to get to know a different area other than what we already know. Let's learn something with other people that we're not used to being around. Let's go to a Buddhist temple because I'm Buddhist. I was shakabuku into Buddhism years ago. Tina Turner was Buddhist, and when I saw What's Love Got to Do with It and read her book, I was like, okay, if Buddhism worked for her and in the middle of turmoil and all the stuff that Ike was doing to her, I will damn sure benefit. Benefit
exactly.
from going, you know. So I wanted to do some things outside of the norm. And they were like, well, no, you know, black people may not understand. I'm like, it's up to us to educate each other. I don't even understand some of the stuff, but I want to learn. So they didn't want us to delve into other areas and educate ourselves or even show another side of life. You know what I mean? And I really wanted to talk about that stuff. So it was unfortunate because I told them before I left, I said, my attorney told them too. First of all, my client is not here to get in fights or to start fighting with anybody or be beat up or beat up someone else. That is not in her contract. In fact, we will have a lawsuit against you if that's what you guys are doing. And that's because that last scene with Little Mo, she had her fist balled up, but the camera couldn't see them. They were at her sides. And she was like, Dawn, don't get messed up, Dawn. Don't get messed up. I was like, what? And that's when I said, oh, so you're gonna fight me now? Oh, I don't think so. And I was taking off my battery pack, my mic pack. So yeah, they just wanted fighting and ugliness, and I wasn't with it at all. It's too bad because when I watched the scenes that I was in, I felt like it was refreshing. I felt like, and not because it was me, but because of what I was saying and the things that I was going through. I told the producer, it was about a month after we were filmed, and we had a meeting with it was some of the cameramen were there too, but the producers of the show and all of the cast, all 6 of us were there, and our people were with us. And they said, TV One is upset because they're looking at the dailies from you guys. So the stuff that you film daily, and they're not liking what they see. And I said, can I just talk here? I said, I'll be the first. I said, you guys don't like what you see because we're not fighting with each other. I'm not motherfucking her. She's not bitch this and bitch that. We're not this with each other. Is that why you don't like it? He said, well, yeah. His name was Leslie. Leslie is the producer for Think Factory. And he said, yes, Dawn, you're exactly right. I said, but I told you that I am not doing that. That's not what I want. And he said, well, you had to know what kind of show it was before you got here. You had to watch Atlanta Divas. And I said, no. You're assuming that because I'm a black woman, I watch that stuff. I don't watch that. I watched a little bit of it when it first came on, the very first episode of the premiere. And unfortunately, I didn't go back because of that stuff. They didn't support each other. It was bitch this and all of that stuff right away. And I was like, no. I said, you have very talented women on that show, and now you have more talented women on this show. But I am a funky diva. The reason that you have the word diva, Atlanta Diva, LA Divas, is because of En Vogue. We came out in 1992 with divas, funky divas. So that's where that name even came from. And I'm not about to, when Cindy, Terry, and Maxine see me, I always want them to be proud of the moves that I make. I don't want them to ever say, oh my God, oh, Dawn is like, she's really, woo. You know what I mean? I want them to be like, wow, she is amazing. And we're proud of her, you know, even if they want to hate on me or whatever. they're proud of what I do. I never want to shame my mother, and I never want to shame Cindy, Terry, and Maxine. So yeah, it was too bad because we had a lot of great. I told him, I said, Leslie, I have shown you guys reality. You wanted reality. That's what this is, right? A reality show. He said, yes. I said, so I gave you reality. When I talked about having a husband that was violent with me, an ex-husband who was violent with me, a lot of my fans didn't even know I was married. The fact that I'm talking about this on camera and telling the world my stuff, and I cried. Remember, I don't know if you remember the scene we had. Shantae Moore had a brilliant book idea called Will I Marry Me?
Yes.
Because
yes.
women tend to have this long list of things that we want a man to be. He's got to be understanding and kind. He's got to be patient, a good lover, a good listener. He's got to be romantic. Are we those things ourselves? That's what her whole question was. Are we those things ourselves, or are we asking for things that we're not even doing anyway? Because if you want that, you have to also give that. So that was her whole thing, give and take. And I was like, wow. I told her, I said, Shantae, that's a brilliant idea. So we came to the chapel in Vegas. I wasn't living here yet, but we went to the chapel. We picked out our wedding dresses, our wedding gowns, and they didn't have one for Kelly. Kelly is
I remember that.
Yeah. Kelly's about I think she said she's a 22, and I'm not being funny. This was from her mouth. She's a big girl, and she cried on offset because she's off camera because she said, you guys knew what size I was before I got here. And I'm picking up these little tiny dresses, and none of them fit me. And y'all knew this. And the producer said, not that same guy, but a producer said, but that'll be funny because a lot of people are in your position, so they feel the same pain. She said, no, it's not funny to me. This is my life. This is my life. So stuff like that they tried to do and try to get away with. And I was like, so we have to support each other. Not everybody was willing to do that because they told them you're going to get a spinoff show. Little Mo and Shantae Moore, you guys are going to get a spinoff show. And that's why they were willing to turn up, as opposed to, let me be sensible here and make some friends and really have a sisterhood, because that's what they told us they wanted to do. In fact, the very first meeting that we had as a full cast, there was about 50 people in the room. Everybody was there. And I brought an article from Nene. She was on the cover of Essence magazine and Atlanta Housewives. And she said that I almost lost my marriage, or she lost her marriage and remarried her husband, or something like that.
Yes.
And she regretted it. Exactly. So that's why I was like, you guys, this is what we don't want. And I held up the magazine cover, and I said, I'm not this. I didn't grow up like this. And she's talking truth about what she felt about the show. Wasn't worth losing the people that she was dear to, or that were dear to her. And they were like, oh no, we want a positive show. We want the girls, you guys to be okay, right? Until they saw that like I told him, the reason that we're agreeing on so many things right now is because it's a new relationship. I've only known these girls for a month. We've only known each other for a month.
Right.
In life, as you continue to work with someone, those natural things come out that you may disagree on something. And then we can get into it with each other, and then we can resolve it on camera. But you guys don't want us to. He was like, well, no, you can't resolve on camera, but you guys can go and have dinner and toast to it. And I'm like, what? This is the other thing. This is the other thing, Jason. I had told them in that first meeting with the Essence magazine, I said, we have a responsibility, the six of us women, have a responsibility to young Black women everywhere. And the way that we behave, they think is real. They don't think, oh my God, you're going to toast after the show is over and toast each other and say, oh, girl, you was stupid. They don't know that. They think it's real what they see. Yeah. So no, it's not funny. And to me, there's too many things in life that happen that we don't have to create havoc with each other. Yeah. Real shit is going on right now. At that time, I was trying to get my career back together. It had been a while since I worked. So people are not knocking on my doors. I want to talk about that. And how do I get back, and how not to fear? You know what I mean? We can't just go to, I tell people this all the time, fans especially, like we can't just go to Macy's and get a job when we're down and out. Now I know a couple of celebrities have done that, but I can't imagine doing that. Yeah. I was much bigger than the young man that went to get a job. I think he got a job at a regular 9-to-5 somewhere, and they were shaming him for it. He was like, I'm trying to pay bills. Mm-hmm. Right. He was from the Cosby Show.
Yes, he was working at Trader Joe's.
Oh, okay, got it. Thank you so much. Yeah, him. And I was like, why are you guys shaming this man? But I know they'd have. We're videotaping going backstage, back, you know, in the what do you call it?
The stock room.
Dawn is working in the stock room, exactly. TMZ.
Yeah.
Dawn Robinson apparently is down and out. She's working. It's like, you know, I just didn't want that hassle, and I was much bigger than him as far as, you know, stardom. So I'm known around the world, and we just can't go and get a normal 9 to 5. So, you know, it's you get desperate, you get frustrated, and you want to do those things. And I just thought this show was a way for us to talk about those things. Like,
yeah.
And unfortunately, they wanted otherwise. They wanted to shame us. They wanted to have us fighting against each other, and the girls fell for it. So when we did the whole Not Your Mama's monologues, remember that?
Yep.
I don't know if you remember the scene. I want to say it was the first 2 episodes, one or the other, and we were giving Kelly Price was giving Shantae Moore a birthday party, and we were all invited. And Kelly Price mentioned Not Your Mama's monologues, and Shantae was like, "Oh my God, girl, I love that." Yes. But then, after about maybe 5 or 6 episodes, she's like, "I hated that idea. You said you loved it." And Kelly gave, when I tell you, it was a real. That's why I was like, oh my God, reality show is real, because she gave her a layout, a spread of a seafood spread, because that's what she wanted for her birthday. She had lobster tail, but she would spread the lobster tail out like a flower. It was.
Oh, wow.
She had asparagus, white asparagus I've never seen before. She had white and green asparagus, and she crisscrossed them. So they look like this. They look like crisscross. They were beautiful. She laid it out like Gourmet magazine. And she did all that work for Shantae, and Shantae turned against her at the end. So those kind of things, I'm just like, yeah, it's too bad. I mean, I told him, I was like, I gave up talking about not having children and how that hurt me. I cried in that scene when we married ourselves, and, you know, that Shantae Moore scene with the wedding gowns. That was real for me. And he said, oh, no, Dawn, I don't mean you, because you are giving real. I'm like, well, who are you talking to? Because there's 6 of us here, and you're only pointing to me. And he said, well, you know, we need you guys to turn up. I was like, oh, so you use a black term to describe what you need us to do. But okay. All right. You want us to turn up. Well, I don't turn up. I give real. I am real. And I'm going to continue that. So if you don't want me on the show, then he said, no, you, and he pointed at me, you have to decide with my finger. You have to decide if you want to be on the show or not. I was like, I could have decided that before you got 36 hours of footage on me. Like, come on, y'all.
Right.
So, yeah. And when I see the show, I'm like, oh my God, I like how real I was. I said, I said, why are you calling it reality? You guys need to call this relatable TV, not reality TV, because I'm giving real, but you don't want real. I gave real. And you wanted some buffoonery bullshit. You wanted me to make stuff up. So, yeah, it fell apart, unfortunately.
Right, right. Well, good for you for sticking to your guns and your integrity through that whole experience.
Thank you so much.
So let's jump into this amazing song list, and we'll talk and we'll tell stories along the way. But I really want to get to this music, because these songs are amazing.
Thank you so much.
Absolutely. So the first song on your list is by the late great Minnie Riperton, incredible classic vocalist. Loving You. Oh my God.
Let me find that. So the deal was, you guys, is that Jason was going to play the music, and then I was going to sing to it. But I was like, I can't do that because it's not loud enough for me, and I need to feel the music.
Right.
And sometimes there's a delay as well, so I'll be off, and I don't want that. So I'm going to play it here. And Loving You. Where's Loving You?
Dawn's going to sing for us, y'all. Yeah.
I'm gonna try to hit this high note too. I haven't done it in years. Since I was there's a cassette tape of me and Minnie Riperton, and she had just passed away. And I was 14 years old when she passed. So my mom had gone and bought Memory Lane. And so you said Memory Lane or Loving You?
Loving You.
Yeah, so Memory Lane was the song that was out at the time that she passed away. And my mom went and bought the album, and I cried. And, you know, just I had this affinity for Minnie, because to me, I don't know, she was just the quintessential spirit. She had such a light heart about her. Because I think because she sings so high, I felt like her spirit was the same way.
Right.
And you know, back then we didn't hear about people having anything. We didn't know that she was even sick. So when she died, it was like that day. What? It hit the world the same way Marvin Gaye being killed was. It was like today, she died today. It was like that. And I was only 14, but I cried. And so I'm gonna try to do "Loving You." It's such a pretty song.
It
so
is.
Here we go. Jason, is that okay? Is it too loud?
Yes, it's great.
Loving you is easy 'cause you're beautiful. Making love with you is all I wanna do. Loving you is more than just a dream come true. And everything that I do is out of loving you. La 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 la. Sing it. La 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 la. Do 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 do.
Yay!
No one else can make me feel the colors that you bring. Stay with me while we grow old, and we will live each day of the springtime. 'Cause loving you has made my life so beautiful, and every day of my life is filled with loving you. Loving you, I see your soul come shining through. And every time that I'm more in love with you. La 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 la. Do 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 do. No one else can. I know I said one verse. I was like, oh my God, stop it.
No, you were feeling it.
One chorus. Oh my God.
You were feeling it. That was beautiful. Thank you so much.
Thank you. I'm glad I got to know that. That's hard.
That's the one. That's the one. We needed that. Thank you.
Thank you. You're welcome.
So tell me, how did that song and that high note change your life?
Oh my gosh. Minnie, like I said, well, I said it before.
Right.
I didn't realize you were going to ask after. But yeah,
It's okay.
It was so sweet. I think, if I remember correctly, Stevie Wonder wrote that for her. And that is a song that her husband played when she died. Like, she literally died in her husband Richard's arms. And Richard, what was his last name? Anyway, so yeah, she died in his arms listening to either Loving You, it couldn't have been Memory Lane, because it's not that type of song.
Right.
But yeah, she died, you know, in his arms. And yeah, so it's just a beautiful song. I mean, come on. I see your soul come shining through, and every time that because she was talking about every time we make love, I'm more and more in love with you. I was like, oh, this is so beautiful. I didn't understand that as a kid. I was like, I didn't get it, but you know, wow. Everything that I do is out of loving you. Wow. So in those high notes, it's so pure. When she does it, I love Mariah Carey's whistle notes, but when Minnie does it, it's so pure and so concise and so, wow. It's just beautiful. So she holds that, and it's easy. It just comes out effortless with her.
Yeah, she was the pioneer of the whistle tones. I don't think we'd heard whistle notes in pop music before.
Exactly.
So yeah, when Minnie came out.
Yeah, she was the first, and then Denise Williams did it as well after that. But yeah, Minnie kind of led the world with that. You're absolutely right. Yeah.
Absolutely. So how did that influence your vocal style? Obviously, you can still hit the notes.
Yes. Shocking. I'm like, what? I'm patting myself. I'm Both shoulders. Come on
As
now.
you should.
Oh my gosh, I'm just so wow. Sometimes I think we doubt ourselves so much, and I hate what's in my head because it's not what's true in life. We talk to ourselves in ways, and it's like you doubt and you doubt and you doubt, and it's like, just try it. I was gonna cancel with you, Jason.
No. No.
Because I was like, Dawn, you haven't sung live in so long. It's been a year at least because of COVID. We haven't performed. And I don't do it. I don't like doing things online. I don't like singing online.
Understood. Yeah.
Because,
it's weird.
yeah, especially live because there's an echo and there's, I'm used to having a band. I rely on the band to lean on, you know, to feel the music more. And so that's why I needed this loud ass speaker to put the music right in my head, right in my face, so I can feel it. And I was hoping that she wasn't too much louder than me, but I think you can hear me over her, huh?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Good. Okay.
Sure.
So yeah, a lot of times we talk to ourselves and it's just not really what's happening. You're projecting things on yourself that are not really true. You know, it's like, yeah. Hey guys.
Yes. Hey everybody. I see there's a question down there somewhere. I'll get to it. So I'm sorry for somebody that's waiting for their question.
Oh my gosh, how can I ease the pain? That's Aaliyah. Aaliyah, hi Aaliyah, how are you? I should do that one. But that's yes. How can I? Or something like that. She does. Yeah, it's.
And I'm done. Dawn, thank you.
I need the music. I need the freaking music.
That was great.
Jason, I'm doing too much.
No, that was great. That was beautiful.
It was not.
It was, and I will tell you that before puberty hit, I could hit that too.
Are you serious, Jason?
Yes. No.
Wow.
I love, I'm an 80s baby, 90s kid, so the whistle notes, Mariah was my whistle person. Then I went back and learned about Denise Williams and Minnie Riperton. But when Lisa Fisher hit that, I could do that before.
Wait a minute. So check this out. While we're talking about Lisa and hitting that note, when we were on tour with Luther Vandross, he would feature her in the show because that was her song.
Right.
And that's his girl. So she would do it every night, Jason. Every night we would watch, as mean as he was to us, we would watch Luther Vandross's show. Yeah. And thanks so much, you guys. And we would listen to him and watch and learn. And it was like we were little girls just watching Luther Vandross every single night because he was light on his feet. He was a consummate professional. And then Lisa would come out and he would leave the stage. Everybody would leave and just leave her by herself. She would do that song. And we were like on bated breath every time she gets to that part. We would like, oh my God, she did it again. She did it again. Whatever arena we were in, it was like on point. I'm like, okay, did they have it recorded? And they're playing it for her because she would hit it spot on no matter what. You know what I mean? So she was just that good. She was that amazing. Yeah.
Wow. And she's still that good. She's an instrument of a singer that just sings with her whole being.
She does. Well, I watched recently something on Netflix about background singers, and she was on there. Yeah, you saw that 20 Feet from Stardom or something like that?
Yes.
And I really felt for a lot of the background singers because we never needed them. We always had each other as background. Yeah. So I didn't realize what they go through, and that a lot of the songs that we've heard over the years, and even in the 60s especially, there were a lot of women that sang background for a lot of artists that we've never seen those artists. We never saw those singers at all. So Lisa was talking about when she sings, how she said, she described it as being, she said, I sing and I'm as light as a feather. I feel like and I was like, oh my, okay. Thank you. Thank you, Lisa. Because she described what singing should feel like. Light as a feather. You're floating. You just go wherever your voice takes you and you end up just landing softly. Yes, I needed that. I really did. And this is from a background singer who's a lead. Lisa's, you know what I mean?
Let's be clear.
She's been singing with the Rolling Stones even, I think, before Luther. So she's amazing.
Yeah, I actually own a copy of that documentary, and I refer to it when I'm feeling like the artist frustration. You know
Yeah.
what that's
Are
like.
you
You
a
have to have
singer?
something to plug into. I am, and a
Oh my
songwriter.
goodness, Jason. I didn't know that.
Absolutely.
Wow. So you should be singing with me. Hello.
Oh, woo. Well, there will be a lag, but you know, we can do that.
That's okay.
We can
I'll
do
turn
that.
it up as loud as I can so you can hear. What's our next song?
The next song is "Don't Mess with My Man" by Lucy Pearl. You
That's
might
my
be on
man.
that one. Hey.
Yeah, just a little bit. Let me see.
Y'all, thank you so much for tuning in. This is 5 Songs That Changed My Life. My special guest is Dawn Robinson.
No pain, no gain. Oh my goodness, y'all going way back. What y'all know about No Pain, No Gain?
Y'all know some music around here.
Yes, I do. Yes, I'm glad you guys are here too. Jason, thank you for having me. So here we go with Lucy Pearl. I think it's right on the cue. So I queued it up where it's starting off the verse. Told your ass no but twice. Should've took his advice. Like a man. What you do, you still drive by every night. You're not too tight. You shake and you lost good man. I know it's sad. Nothing about you. If you was smart, he better. This time it's secret. I won't be a we don't know. Don't mess with my don't mess with my don't mess with my I'm in bitch that hand all night, all day, constantly complain till you drove them away. You were always saying something, and it wasn't good for nothing. Then why the hell you stuck it? Since I get to walking, you had your chance, good man. I know it's sad, giving you what's mine.
Hey.
Keep that ass up my line next time. See me. All right. No,
Bravo.
no.
Yes.
I'll say, that is my song. And when I see the video, I want to cry. I miss Raphael and I miss us. Lucy Pearl and I miss the
Lucy
whole
Pearl
thing.
was such a fucking moment.
It was a moment. It was a fucking moment. You're right.
Yes. Okay. Sorry.
You can't describe it any other way, Jason. That is it. Thank you. Thank you for the fucking moment. It was.
It was.
I am, I don't know. Sometimes I think in a lifetime, you just think, if you could ever get back to something, as much as I love in Vogue, I would love to do Lucy Pearl again because it was just magic. But there were so many other factors that determined that being magic. We had other people that worked on production with us that are no longer working together. One of them got off into drugs. So we're hoping, I don't know, this is some things too. I lost my house during that time and I kept telling Raphael, we have to put out the album. You know, it was supposed to be out in June and here we are in November. Dude! Yeah, the babies look like, hello. Putting notices on my door and yeah, they took my house. And so the first time we went over to London, I was packing my bags to go to London, but I was also packing my house to move out. Yeah, I lost my house. And Raphael told me before I signed with him, he said, you know, anything you need, I don't have a big advance to give you up front, but anything you need, I got your back. And I'll figure it out. I'll figure out a way to make it happen. So I signed with him instead of signing to RCA. I had a deal on the table for a solo deal. And I've known Raphael since we were kids. We were 16 together. So I thought, okay, instead of going directly into a solo deal, I could do this with Raphael. It's only a one-off. I love Raphael. I feel protected with him. And so, okay, I chose Raphael. I chose to do this group, even though we didn't have a name for it at first. We came up with the name and the music and the look of us. You know, everything was our idea, as opposed to Lucy and Vogue was put together by other people. So we were more proud. I'm more proud of En Vogue, Lucy Pearl, than I was of En Vogue. I'm proud of both, but with Lucy Pearl, it was our musical ideas. Everything that came together to make Lucy Pearl what it was me, Raphael, Ali, and these two guys named Jake and the Fat Man, Bobby and Glenn. Their production name was Jake and the Fat Man. So they made that album what it was. Really, they did a lot of the work. Probably the majority of the work on that album, and they're no longer working together. So Lucy Pearl will not be the same without them.
I see.
Yeah.
So how did that name come about? Where did the name Lucy Pearl come from? It was so distinctive.
Thank you so much. We were trying to come up with a name, and Raphael kept saying names like 3 times soul and soul times 3, and I was like, first of all, I grew up in rock and roll. And you are in pop as well in the 80s, and you are stereotyping us before we even get out there. I want people to be like, when they hear our music, I want them to not be sure who the hell that is, and if we're black or white or what. You know, even though our music is very soulful, they would have known we're black. But I wanted us to have something different than a typical soul, whatever. I'm like, and they're gonna put us in the neo soul category. Come on. So he was like, yeah, you're right. So he came like 3 days later to the studio because I had 2 days of recording my vocals. And when he came in to play a bass line, he was like, Don, what do you think? He would always call me Don, Jason. Don, like D-O-N. It's D-A-W-N, man. And I was like, hi, Corlin, how are you? And so I said, Raphael, would you like it if I call you Rufiel? Like, my name is Dawn. Okay, and you know that. You've known me since we were kids. So, yeah, this is not. So he said, what do you think about Pearl? And me and Ali looked at each other, and I was like, Raphael, that sounds like an old country white lady, an old country singer. No, that doesn't work. And then so a day later, he called us. He was like, you guys, I got the name, Lucy Pearl. Okay, wait. It still sounds like an old country singer, but it's got a thing to it. The fact that we are 3 black people named Lucy Pearl. Yeah. And so what you typically do when you're coming up with a title for an album or a title for a book or a title for anything, really, you take titles of things that are already successful. So we took the Funky Divas album cover. We took Tribe Called Quest. I forget the name of that album cover. We just took names of groups and names of album covers, titles, and we just threw them in so Stained, Led Zeppelin, The Temptations. We just took different names and threw them on a list, and we would just randomly walk around the studio and just say, Lucy Pearl, Temptations, Lucy Pearl, Led Zeppelin, Lucy Pearl. How does that sound? And it had a thing. It stuck. It just stuck, you know?
Yeah.
And it worked really well. So that's how we came up with the name. You're the first person. I've done all these interviews, and you're the first one who asked how the name came about. So thank you.
Yes, I went in. No,
You're the first. You're the first, exactly. And nobody else had the name. When we did a name check, it was like, so with En Vogue, we had For You, 4, and the letter U, and I was like, because it felt like just what I'm saying. I just didn't know how to articulate it back then. And then it was taken, so we had to come up with another name. And Denny said, well, what about Vogue? I think we had a Vogue magazine there at the studio one day. He checked it, and it was taken. So somebody else said, put EN on the front just to change it up a little bit, and it worked. So that was him coming up with a name. But with Lucy Pearl, we came up with our own name and our own sound musically and our own look, the way we wanted to look, very rock and roll, you know what I mean? Different than En Vogue and different than the Tonys. Yeah, so I'm really proud of what we came together and did. Hi, Robert.
Yeah, I have to say that as a fan, what made that group so remarkable is that, of course, you had all 3 made your mark in previous groups,
right,
in hip hop and in the soulful R&B world and in the huge pop world that wasn't Vogue. But when you came together, it didn't feel like a beat project. It felt like a legitimate new creation that was incredible.
Exactly. Thank you so much. I feel the same way. It was, like I said, it was our idea. So we didn't have outside influences. We had no opposition. We had just us. and what we said goes. You know, what we agreed to do and how we came together. That was our baby. It was Raphael's idea, but we are the 6 people that were together. Raphael, Ali, myself, and Bobby and Glenn. That's 5. We came with that idea, with the name, like I said, the sound. It is so brilliant, this album. It's such a brilliant body of work. I'm very proud of Lucy Pearl. It's just unfortunate that Raphael's ego kept getting in the way. We had no communication. I always tell everybody, whenever I get a chance, I tell people all the time, the biggest thing for a group especially, or any relationship you have dealing with another human being, mother, daughter, father, son, sister, brother, mother, husband, wife, husband and husband, wife and wife. If you don't communicate, things fall apart. It just becomes this like assumptions and jealousy and stuff you make up in your head. And before you know it, it's like a mess. So Raphael wasn't communicating with me, and he was very jealous. He was used to being, you know, the lead in the Tonys. And here I am, I'm getting all this press, and, you know, we're all getting press, but I was getting, Dawn, what's going on with you? Dawn, we want you for Vogue magazine, and we want you. And it's like, okay. And I remember twice he did it. Once here in Vegas at Sprite Night for the American Music Awards, they had all these radio stations and all these different tables in the room, in a massive room. Massive, just over there, excuse me, is Sweden, over there is Chicago, over there is Africa, over there. So you sit down at all these different tables and you do interviews with each of the radio stations. And we're sitting down and we're talking to, so when we were done with the last interview, I want to say Wisconsin, Milwaukee, someplace like that. We were sitting against the wall just waiting for our next interview, and we had a press person with us. And Raphael was standing to my left, Ali was to my right, and this guy named Lee Bailey comes walking over, and he's an older man, and he's on TV One or Radio One. I want to say Radio One. So he's syndicated. You don't want to mess with Lee Bailey. He's like the man. He's helped a lot of people with their careers. And he's a nice old man. Like, he's just cool. He knows music. And so he moseys over, and while he's walking, he's smiling. He takes out his tape recorder. He had this little dictaphone. He took it out, and he squeezed in between me and Raphael without saying, excuse me, but I wasn't offended. And so he's like, hey. And Raphael said, excuse me, don't you see I'm fucking standing here? Damn.
Oh, wow.
And he walked away. And I looked at Ali, and I was like, oh my God, we are done. We're done. Wow. Because he was showing attitude already, and I'm like, what is that about? Like, and Lee Bailey didn't care. He was like, yeah, so Dawn, what's going on? Lucy Pearl, wow, you guys got a new project. And he talked to both me and Ali. Raphael assumed that he was going to only talk to me. I was like, wow, what a bitch. Woo! Yeah, because it was just ridiculous that he behaved like that. And that was the first time. The second time was in London. And again, one of the journalists was like, Dawn. And he said, okay, we're sitting here too. We've done a lot in our careers as well. Don't you want to talk to us? Fuck. And she said, yes, I do. But Dawn has done a lot more.
With the accents. Come on.
Oh, I'm good with accents, Jason. Don't mess with me, okay?
Come on.
Dawn has done a lot more. And I was like, yeah.
That's right. I've done a lot more.
Exactly, a lot more. Thank you. And then when we got to Germany was all about hip hop. It was no R&B, no pop, no country. They didn't want to hear nothing else. It was all a culture of hip hop. So it was all about Ali. Ali was sitting there, and we were like, okay, well, I'm going to eat, because Ali had all the interviews that day. And I said to Raphael, I said, see, Ali has all these interviews, and they're not asking to talk to me at all, or you. So we can't be jealous of each other. Like, what the heck is that about? We got to support, you know? It was ridiculous, yeah.
Oh, my gosh. So that's what derailed the project the first time. Is there?
Well, no. Okay. So no, it was a one-off from the beginning. It was only supposed to be one album with Lucy Pearl. It was only that, nothing more.
Okay.
Unfortunately, Raphael's, you know, he's apologized for it since, but even after the apology, just before the apology, I was watching Beats, Rhymes, and Rhythms on MTV, and it was about Tribe Called Quest, and I was like, okay, Fife, would always big me up in songs. So he, you know, the 16 bars, my man, I'll be sure he's in effect mode. Used to have a crush on Dawn from Vogue. It's not like Honey Dipper wanna play with me, but just in case I go with condoms and TLC, right? So he did that twice on TLC's album, Crazy Sexy Cool, and he did it on what are the Tribe Called Quest songs? And so when I finally met him, he had nothing to say. He was so nervous. Oh my God. I was like, Mike, are you kidding me? Like, really? All of this talk you saying about me, and now you get in my face and you have nothing to He was like, he's like, I'm too nervous. I can't. So I laughed at him. But when he passed away, we had been talking on Twitter. And he was going to send me some tracks because I was like, we should do a song called Crush. Used to have a crush on Dawn from Vogue. So those 16 bars, I was like, let me have those 16 bars. You give me a track and I'll write to the track and we'll put those 16 bars. And so he was trying to do that, but he was too sick and never got it to me before he passed. So I sent him a message on Twitter when he passed away and I said, I am still going to keep your dream alive. And I'm going to do a song called Crush and dedicate it to you. So when I was watching Beats, Rhymes, and Rhythm, I called Ali and I said, Ali, I have a great idea. Fife was this, he did this, I want to do this, I needed 16 bars. He's like, oh my God, cool, I'll get a hold of his wife and let her know. He said, but Raphael wants you to call him. I'm like, Ali, every single time we talk, you say the same thing. Raphael wants you to call, and I give you my number and he never calls me. Give him my number, tell him to call me, I'm good. So, and then when we hung up, I was like, you know what, no, let me, and so I texted him and I said, when I was in Lucy Pearl, Raphael said that he'd have my back. He'd have your back. When I needed him, he didn't have my back and I lost my house. That's some serious, it wasn't like I had some lipstick and I left it in his car and I lost it, or my purse or a jacket. It's my house. Right. So my equity was lost. The money that I put on the down payment was lost. My credit is still affected to this day. And this was just last year when we had this conversation. So I said, you know what, until we deal with that elephant in the room, Raphael has a lot of apologizing to me to do. Even if he just said, you know what, Dawn, I'm sorry for that and I mean it. That's it. Okay, when are we recording? I love you. I love him. I love Raphael. I love Cindy, Terry, and Maxine. But there's some, we don't make amends. Like right now, Black people want, what is it, reparations? Yeah. Raphael has some reparations with me. He really does, because that is huge. You tell somebody to believe in you and that you have their back when they need you, and then when I need you, you don't have my back. And it was serious. Like I said, it wasn't just a purse that I lost or a jacket. This was a house. So I love him, but we have to talk. We have a serious conversation to be had. So I'm waiting, Raphael. Call me.
Hey, all right, Raphael, pick up the phone, because we need another Lucy Pearl something. So y'all make it in.
Oh my God! But again, we don't have all those pieces together. If Bobby and Glenn are it was a white and Mexican team. So Bobby Ozuna is Mexican and Glenn Standridge is white. And if they're not together, we don't have Lucy Pearl. If they were the ones, they would take like break beats. I'd never heard of break beats before them. At one point, some of the James Brown musicians, some of the Detroit sound musicians, they would all come together and do what they call these break beats. They didn't call that then, but for hip hop, they call them break beats. So they did a whole album of just jamming, right? And so Glenn would take out, no, Bobby was the DJ, and Bobby would take out this break beats by the meters, and he would just play a track. And if we didn't like it, we'd go to the next one, go to the next. Oh, that's cool. And then Raphael would play like 12 bass lines over this one breakbeat. You know what I mean? And it came together and like, don't mess with my man. There it is. Or La La La, or Every Day. And it was just so organic, the way that the whole thing worked. Without those two people, Ali, Raphael, and myself, it's just going to be a different project. Because those two, yeah, they made it what it was. I got to give Bobby and Glenn the credit because they were amazing, just truly amazing.
So shout out to Bobby and Glenn for being unsung heroes of the Lucy Pearl project. Absolutely.
Yes.
So it's now time to talk about In Vogue.
That's too dark.
The next song on your list. Uh-oh, you got darker. There we go. Now we see you.
Okay.
The next song on your list is Hold On.
Okay, so hold on. Yay!
So I'm gonna let you do that up. Again, everybody, welcome to Five Songs That Changed My Life. My special guest, as you see here, is Dawn Robinson. So
Hey,
happy to have you.
Drew. Hey, Drew. Who else? Okay, so we'll do, hold on. So I
Yes.
have it queued up to you. I have it on that part.
Okay.
That's Terry.
That's Terry, right? Okay.
You. Oh! This video is so dated. Oh my God! Right there in that part of the song. Right there in that part of the song, bam! When the horn sounds, we were laughing. We were go Cindy, and she looked at us in the video. They kept it because she looked over at us and smiled because we were making her laugh. So I love that part. It was so cute. Yeah, it was a moment.
Wow.
And they kept it. Yeah. So here we go. My first mistake was I wanted to attack. I had to have him morning with night. I wouldn't know there. My face is out. I might have lost the time. I can come on, Jason. Your side. Right here. My hands are hold on to your love.
Hey, y'all.
Hold on to your love. Hold on to your love. Oh, you got to hold on. Yeah. Oh, we are playing games now. It's not the heart you break. It's about to love you make when it's heart on fire. He'll never every day. Remember he needs space. Be patient that he'll give his heart to you. So waste your time fighting Hold on.
Hey.
Okay. Yay. Yes. That was the we look so young in this video, like we are kids.
Oh my gosh.
Children,
So
mere children.
what do you think of when you see that video? Where does it take you?
God, it takes us. I'm watching Maxine because my eye is on her dress. Now the whole time she's trying to hold her dress down, but instead of saying cut, I have to pull my dress down. She kept going because she didn't know. We were so brand new. And hey, Martel, how are you? Hey. So she didn't know to say, you know what, you guys, I need to stop so we can fix my dress.
Right.
We were brand new. We had no idea. So she didn't know to say, guys, there's a problem here. Can we let me fix this? Or the director didn't even say, hey, her dress is going up. We didn't see her hoo-ha. We didn't see her hoo-ha in a minute. So let's pull that down so we can't see her panties.
Right.
So I'm looking at her with her knees together trying to hold her dress down. And I'm also remembering the fact that we didn't have a budget. The record company was not trying to put a bunch of money behind in Vogue, because when you first start out, they don't know if you're going to work or not, if the fans are going to love you or not, if you're going to win or you're going to lose or fail or succeed. And so they didn't put a lot of money into it. So we didn't have a budget. So the stylist the night before said, hey, ladies, can you bring some stuff from home? And I happened to bring the dress that I'm wearing. Was the dress that I used to go to clubs in, and I'm going to put it in my book. I'm writing my autobiographical book, and that dress is my hold on dress. Yeah, but that was my club dress. I was with my friends hanging out, and I had a little black dress. And yeah, so she happened to bring 3 other ones, and actually she had 4, but I like mine better. So I ended up wearing mine for the video. Yeah.
That's incredible. See, you guys are getting scoops here. You would have known this stuff. You would have known.
Exactly.
That's crazy. So you guys were signed to Atlantic, right?
We were signed to Atlantic Records, exactly, but we were signed through a publishing deal. I'm sorry, production deal through our producers, Denzel Foster, Thomas McElroy. So they had Too Tough Enough Productions, and through Too Tough Enough, we were signed to the major label. So we had a production company in the middle of us. Yeah.
Got it. Okay.
And I would rather us have direct relationship with the record company, but it's okay. That's how we got in, was through, Denny and Tommy. Had it not been for them, nobody would have known us.
That's amazing. So I've watched so many of your interviews. I've watched so many In Vogue interviews. So I've got little tidbits here and there. Apparently, the group was initially conceived as a trio, but ended up being a quartet.
Yes.
So how is it balancing 4 voices and 4 personalities and 4 different dresses and all that stuff?
You know, it could have been 3, it could have been 2. It would have still been personalities. So it just happened to be 3 more than the usual. But without that 4th member, so when one person is singing lead, the other 3 sing background. And it can't be 2-part harmony or else it won't sound right. So we had to have 3 singing background, and then the one sings lead. You know what I mean? Yep. So, yeah, it worked out perfectly. Our blend was so amazing, just so perfect from the very beginning. It just was, and the guys, our producers, knew that. So they were like, "We can't get rid of one. We got to keep all of them because it just works so well. It works so well."
That was a brilliant decision for sure.
I think so too. I agree.
Incredible, incredible.
They might not like me now because I started speaking up for things that they were like, "We should have let that bitch go."
Well, too late now. You in there?
Oh, she was trouble from the beginning. We should have known. But I was so sweet in the beginning. I didn't know nothing. I was just so happy to be there, and whatever goes. Okay, you want to give us 10 pennies a record? 2 cents a record? That's fine. We're good. You know. Oh yeah.
Can't imagine.
Yes, exactly. Wow. It was insane. It was insane. So, unfortunately, fortunately, I was still there to say, nope, this is not okay, and we need more. We deserve more. And absolutely. The other girls should have been just as pissed off and said, yeah, Dawn is right. Let's get behind Dawn because she's right. But it didn't happen that way.
Oh my gosh. Was singing always your dream? Did you grow up thinking you would be a singer?
Yeah, it was. I'm sorry. It was from the very beginning. Yeah. My dad, I sent you another song that I was going to do, Michelle My Belle by the Beatles.
Yes. Yes.
When I was 2 years old, my dad was in the car. He would always take me to run errands with him. And my mom was pregnant with my sister. So I was in the car with him, and Michelle My Belle was their big hit at the time. It was on the radio. And Michelle My Belle was on the radio. He's singing, and he's not paying attention. He hears me in the passenger seat. Now, he runs in the house when he gets home and says, Barbara Jean, my mom, Dawn can sing. She's like, okay. Dawn is 2. We're still trying to teach her how to talk, and you're telling me that she's singing a song by the Beatles and it's French? It's in French, like predominantly French. Sont des mots qui vont très bien ensemble. She's singing that, and he put it on in the house, and I sang it.
Wow.
Right there.
At 2 years old.
2.
Wow. Oh my God.
So, my voice was tiny, but as I got older, my mom was like, okay, we'll buy her this album, buy her that album. Anything that they would hear me sing, they would buy it. Sergio Mendes is one of the songs that I sent you as well, Mas Que Nada, and that's in Portuguese. And again, I was little singing Mas Que Nada, sai na minha frente que queira passar. I don't know the words. I don't even know what I'm saying, but I was singing that at that time. So, yeah, just music hit me, and they knew it. So they would always coax me, and my mom was always behind me with it. And then anytime she would see a new single a new album by Mickey Howard, I remember her bringing her home. I didn't know who she was. At the time, she wasn't as big as she is now. She had just come out. Brenda Russell. I'm trying to think of all these females. Any new artist. Patrice Rushen. Yeah, so she would bring home all this music and then play it, and I would go in my room and just learn all the songs. Stephanie Mills, anything. I would just sing all this stuff. Denise Williams, I mentioned her earlier. Yeah, so that was my life, and that's how I knew I have to sing for a living. Like, this is going to be my living. So my mom, after high school, and just before we graduated, my best friend and I, she would always say, what are y'all going to do with your lives? You need a skill. Dawn, you need to go to college. You need a mom. I don't have money. Okay. And plus, I want to be a star. I'm going to be a singer. I'm going to be a star. I'm going to be successful. I'm going to be huge. Yeah, okay, but you need a job. In the meantime, so I would get odds and end jobs. And when I got the audition for In Vogue, I still was working an odds and end job. And I was like, see, Ma, I told you I'm going to be a star. But I quit my job before we even started recording the first album, Born to Sing. And she's like, you need to go get another job. So I went and got a job at a grocery store, bagging groceries, because I didn't have skills. I wasn't like a career woman, because, you know, I was going to be a star. And I knew it. I had no doubts in my mind that I was not going to be a successful star. So, yeah, it worked. I was right.
Oh my, yes. Yes. I'm so glad it worked out for you.
Me too. Can you imagine? Oh my gosh. Like, yeah, she said she was going to be a star, but she's still bagging groceries. So.
Great.
That's not cute. That's not cute.
So before we move on to our next song, about Hold On, I have to tell you the moment on the BET Awards where the original four of you came out with Alicia Keys. My mind was blown. I jumped up and screamed at the television, and I know I wasn't alone. I was not the only person that jumped up and screamed at the television because y'all walked out.
I'm going to turn the camera.
Yes, that moment. That moment.
Oh, you see the hold on, let me turn this down a little, and hopefully you can still see it. Can you see it better?
Yeah, I can see it. Oh my gosh.
So this is our plaque from her, and they, you know, just to commemorate that moment, but this was 2000 BET Awards 2008.
Okay.
This is Alicia Keys, this is me, this is Terry, this is Maxine, and that's Cindy and Vogue. Yeah. She was so gracious. Let me just tell you guys, she, you know, you meet a lot of celebrities, of course, in our position, and not everybody's nice. Not everybody's nice. And she was very, very sweet, just gracious enough to put us on. Dawn. I'm trying to get my light. Okay, there it is. So she was gracious enough to, that whole time that TLC, let me see, SWV came out.
Yep.
We came out and TLC came out, was all for Alicia Keys. She had just come out with a new album, and she could have easily used up all that time for herself, but she wanted us on stage to pay homage to us. Yeah. I was just like, Alicia, you are the most beautiful person I've ever met. Like, she really was sweet and very kind. And yeah, that was amazing to me. Very gracious. Yeah.
It was such a powerful moment for female artists in general, but specifically to see the four of you step from behind that stage and strut and look amazing, as if you had never missed a beat.
Exactly. Come on.
As if you had never missed a beat.
Thank you so much, Jason. So I got to tell the story. When we rehearsed, we had 2 days rehearsal. And for those 2 days, we would always bring our, I'm sorry, I'm trying to cue up, how can I ease the pain? I'm going to do a little piece of that too. Since I can now.
Yes.
Since I'm singing like this, I sound amazing. I sound pretty good, so I'm proud of myself. So I'm going to, oh Lord. So anyway, we brought our shoes, our high heels, to rehearsal with us. And you know, you don't want a brand new pair of shoes when you perform because you're nervous. You have to come down steps.
Yes.
You want to make sure that the bottom of your shoes are scuffed up because you don't want to slip. That is the last thing you want to do in front of the world. Jay-Z, I saw Beyonce sitting in the, I'm seeing all these people. I'm like, Kanye West. They even show him the clip. I saw Magic Johnson sitting over there like, oh my God, Janet. Ah! Yeah, so you don't want to slip in front of anybody, right?
No.
So we brought our shoes with us, and we always do this, even when we rehearse without, you know, if we're just on tour, we bring our shoes with us to break them in. Because the last place you want to break in your shoes is on stage live in front of the whole world. So when we walked in, we put our heels on, and SWV, Coco was sitting there. She's like, y'all y'all bring your heels to rehearsal? We were like, yeah, these are our shoes that we're going to perform in. She's like, oh, no, girl, we can't do that. So we got to the show.
Uh-oh.
Our shoes were broken in. You know, we needed a little bit more time with them, but our shoes were good. But you can see the trepidation. I get so weak in the knees. And they're walking up the steps and they're looking. Now we look too, but we glance and we look and we glance and we look. You know what I mean? It's because we were more confident because we rehearsed in our heels. So that's, I guess, music business 101. You know, if you're a woman, you got to break them shoes in or your feet will break before the shoes will. And you do not want to be nervous on top of wearing new shoes, on top of having a blister or whatever. You got to work. And so we walked. So backstage, before the song starts, Cindy singing, I think it was Alicia who started the song before we started. Bum, 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 bum. So backstage, we're on the right foot, left foot, right foot, left foot. And Maxine and Cindy are sitting across from us, across the steps that we come down. They're on the other side of the steps. So we're looking at each other. We're facing each other. Me and Terry are here. Maxine and Cindy are here. And we're doing this with our feet to the beat. Dun, 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 dun. Walk up the steps, walk up the steps, walk up the steps, walk across. So you see us on both the same foot.
Yeah.
That is, again, that's the professionalism. Wow. Yeah, you see us on all, because if we're off, we're not going to look right. So it's 1, 2, right, left, walk down the steps at the same time and hit it. Hold on to your if. I think it's if. We hit if. And then and so we're done. Yeah. That's the pro, that we are pros.
Yeah, that shoe thing sounds like a Frank Gatson tip. Is that something you get from Frank?
Exactly. Yes, indeed. Absolutely. Yes. Frank gets on my damn nerves, but yes. Yes, Frank gave us that. That's the professionalism. Again, he taught us those things. He really gave us a wealth. Frank is a visionary.
Oh, yeah.
He's a visionary. He's so amazing, and he's got great people around him, but he is a visionary. So if we're never going to get it, he referenced, Sweet Charity. The minute you walked in the joint, bop, bop, I could tell you were. You know what I mean? He did all that stuff. A real big so the part where we have the pole, when we're hanging on the pole, he brought that in from Sweet Charity. Yes, visionary, smart man.
Oh yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. I got to meet him in person with June's Diary. He's been working with her, so he came through Atlanta when they came to do a show, and I got to see him up close and personal. He's in every detail. He's in so every detail.
Oh yeah, no, that's who you want on set with you, because he knows. He asked them, so why, when you guys do the song live, he'll come to our rehearsal. He's asking the band, so how come when I hear the song in rehearsal here, it doesn't sound like the record? Y'all need a sample or something of Hold On to make it sound like Hold On, or the big Payback sample of Never Gonna Get It. Dun, 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 dun. We use it for Never Gonna Get It and for Hold On.
Right.
The same sample. But he's like, without that sample, it doesn't sound right. So he's really detailed that way. You're absolutely right. Perfect professional. He's a real professional. Yeah.
Oh yeah, for sure. So you had another song queued up. I'll let you go. Just sing whatever you want to sing.
Mas Que Nada is a little bit weird. I don't know. Let me see.
Okay. And we've actually got one more song between those two. Did you want to get to that one?
Yeah, we do. We have. Don't we have? Okay, so that's How Can I Ease the Pain. And I'll turn it down so it can queue up to the point where I want it. I guess we could do, since we're on In Vogue, Don't Let Go.
Perfect.
Okay.
Perfect.
Okay, hold on, you guys. I'm so sorry.
All good. Take your time. You guys, if you have any questions, please put them in the comments. I am reading. We will get to them.
Yes, we will, you guys. Don't leave us. Lisa Fisher is amazing. Yes, Tanya, she is. Okay, so I will cue that one. and leave that there. And we'll do that after. Dawn, you are taking risks tonight. Woo!
I love it. Gosh. I love it.
Jason,
why the heck not?
You go
why
get
not?
going. So Don't Let Go.
Yes.
And I have the version of Don't Let Go with the. So there's two different versions of Don't Let Go.
Mm-hmm.
One is we have footage from the movie.
Yes.
And little clips of, Jada Pinkett and Queen Latifah, and if we have those little clips, and then there's another one that people don't really know about that we have that we're doing snippets, so little vignettes. And my vignette is I'm in the room with Mekhi Phifer. The whole premise was that he cheated on all three of us, and we didn't, on four of us, and we didn't know, and we catch him, and that's why at the end of it we're angry. Cindy's like, can't keep running in. We're pissing him, and he's catching on like, oh, shit. Yeah, he can tell that we're pissing him because we caught him. You've been cheating. You told me I was your girl. You told Cindy she was your girl. Maxine and Terry and what? So this is, I think it's queued up to. I think to myself that we should be more than just friends. I know you think that we moved to the zoo, but all is I live in this break when you're not around. See, I'm doing the live version. So we're taking over, every heartbreak, soul shake. There'll be some heartbreak, soul shaking. What's it gonna be? 'Cause I can't stand that you won't be. Ooh, don't let go. You have the right to lose control. Don't let go. Ooh, I have to fantasize the stars above our chill. Ooh, that's low. Speak to your flight, don't let love would do. If I could wait, go, pretend I would do. And lose control. Oh, that's all. Love in your heart, baby. So she can get there'll be heartbreak. Nope, not going there. Okay, that's that. Yeah. Oh my God, now that part of my life. Whew. So the producer of this song, it was Rico Wade, Organized Noise, and Rico came to us and said, I had already sang all the lead, and he came in the studio and he said, well, you guys, the record company wants all four of you to sing lead. I was like, okay, fine, that's good. And then, what's his name? What is his name? Oh, I can't say his name because I can't give it away. He doesn't want me to tell. But he came to me and he said, honey, I want you to know that something is up. So come with me out into the parking lot. So I did. I was like, what is going on? He said, well, the record company wants you out of the group. The girls are trying to get rid of you. Don't say it came from me because I'm not going to be the one to get in trouble for giving you information. I was like, first of all, stunned. Oh my God, what are you talking about? And he said, when I get here to the studio, just act like you don't know anything. He said, well, watch what happens. They're going to try to sing your parts, and we'll see if they can. It's not like they can't sing, but it's just, we're going to see what happens. And sure enough, Cindy was like, I can't sing like Dawn. I can't sing this part. She tried to sing my verse. The first verse, I have to tell myself that she tried to split the verse with me and couldn't do it.
Yep.
Then Terry tried it, Maxine tried it, none of them could do it. So the parts that you hear them do at the end were parts that they threw in for them. Can't Keep Running In and Out of My Life was Cindy's, oh no, don't you want to be more? That's Terry. And then Maxine's was Running In and Out of My Life. God, I'm so confused. They threw that in there. But that was not going to be in the song. So they put those parts together for them. actually, Maxine's part was in there. Terry's part is the only part at the end that they added.
Okay.
So yeah, they tried it and couldn't do it. And I was sitting there like seething because I knew that they were up to something and it wasn't right. And wow, like how dirty, you know what I mean? So I ended up singing lead on the biggest hit that we have, and that's how God works.
When I tell you every En Vogue fan knows that that is your song, like we love that song because you shine. You came through like you felt every single lyric in that song.
Exactly, Jason.
I
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for that. Like really, to know the backstory of it and how it happened. Even when we did the video, because we recorded it long, we did the video what, a month after, maybe 3 weeks, maybe 3, because I can't wait that long. Because the single was already on the radio once we recorded it, they released a single, and we needed a video for it right away. So it was probably 3 weeks after. And at the video shoot, Frank Gatson, that's why I say he gets on my nerves, but he wasn't trying to show me my parts. You know, all the stuff that I do in the video, all that stuff that I do, he didn't show me. I had to learn on my own because he kept saying, I'm going to get to you, honey. I'm going to help you in a minute, Dawn. I'll be right over. And I was like, okay, we're here at the video shoot today. We're getting ready to start. Like, they're calling us to come in and start filming with Matthew Ralston. And you're telling me, wait a minute, I'm going to get to you, and you never got to me. He never did. So all the stuff that you see me do in the video, I did on my own. And I'm proud of that, too. Sometimes life calls you to do the thing on your own. You don't have anybody to help you. You have to do it by yourself. And I'm proud, again, for that.
That is a whole entire message right there. Yes, ma'am. You have ministered.
Thank you. Thank you.
So that was around the time that you ended up leaving or being put out of the group.
Being put out.
And yeah, EV3 was the album.
They gave me an agenda, a hidden. They gave me, what do you call it? They gave me an ultimatum. Yes, right. Yes, an ultimatum. And to me, they weren't being fair because Terry did a solo album. The record company, same record company, came to me and said, do you want to do one as well? And when I started the process, they had already done Terry's album. She had a single out. She had a video. She had tour support. We supported her for her first show in Los Angeles at the Pantages Theater in Hollywood. And then the record company was like, Dawn, we're done with your album. Basically, we're going to get in and we're going to start the En Vogue album. And I was like, oh, no. Oh, honey. No. No. Now, I will record the En Vogue album, but I want you to let me go as a solo artist. You know, you're not going to play with me like that. And sure enough, they let me go. But they also, because I slighted the record company, Sylvia wanted me out. So she's the one who made sure that I was out of the group.
Wow.
But it backfired on them because you don't do that at the top of the biggest hit that the group has. And you don't do, first of all, even if I didn't sing lead, you just don't do people dirty like that. So karma, God has a way of getting back at you for things that you don't even know is going to happen. Mm-hmm. You know, you guys tried to destroy me and it came back, it backfired big time. Mm-hmm. So I'm proud of that.
So was Don't Let Go always an En Vogue song? Or was it a Dawn solo song that they kind of attacked on?
No. This was in between. You're so Jason, I heard you.
Don't mind me. Don't mind me.
No, this was an En Vogue song. So we were in between recording. I think we had done Runaway. So we did Born to Sing, Funky Divas. Runaway Love was a EP. And we only had one new song on there. It was a remix to sing type of thing. So they remixed all of our hits. And then they had Runaway Love was an extra song on there, which I love that too. Tell me how. Maybe I'll do that one. And then so Don't Let Go was in between. And Sylvia Rowan brought that to us from the record label. She said, I think this song is a hit for you guys. It's going on a soundtrack with 4 women who are robbing banks. I mean, who does that? We never hear those kind of stories. It was just brilliant to her, and I thought so too. Cindy loved the song as well. Maxine was kind of, and Terry was like, no, I don't like the song. Anything that came from Denny, if it didn't come from Denny and Tommy, Terry hated on it. Point to the blank. She'll say it probably herself because she just didn't think anybody else could create a hit for us. And man, that was our biggest hit. Still to this day, bigger than Hold On, bigger than Free Your Mind, Never Gonna Get It, Giving Them Something to Feel. Don't Let Go.
That is
Biggest
something.
hit. So had we listened to Terry, we wouldn't have had that. We would have missed out on a beautiful song. I love Don't Let Go.
Yeah.
It's a rock ballad, so it gives us a little more of an edge, you know.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. I felt like in some ways it was a precursor to Lucy Pearl and even your solo project. It was an edgier side of Dawn that we hadn't seen.
Oh wow. Wow. Well, me by myself?
Yeah, even you by yourself, but just that song, you were a little edgier. The image was edgier in the video.
Yeah, exactly.
It worked. It worked.
Yeah,
Really
thank you so much. I thought Cindy was pregnant in that video, I want to say, and her hair was already to the middle of her back because she was taking prenatal vitamins, and they put a weave in it, and so her hair went sideways. It was just massive, like this big hair. But it was a beautiful video. I think they shut down all of Union Square for her in New York to do her scene in the one where the footage is of us in our vignettes. So they shut it down for Cindy. I was like, yes, miss, go ahead now, do your thing. Yeah, we did great with that video. So thank you so much, Jason.
Absolutely. So that song did appear on the EV3 album, which the final version of you were not a part of that album. I've heard that there is a version.
Which one?
EV3.
EV3. I was all over that record.
That's what I was about to say. I've heard that you are there.
Yes.
Okay.
Because they were supposed to have taken me off of that record, but I think that they came to their senses and said, okay, if there's one person missing from this group, and we try to come out with that album, and Dawn is not here, the fans are going to be like, okay, what is this? You guys don't even sound the same. So they kept me in the backgrounds. I hear myself on whatever you do, whatever I look in your eyes. I do a little part that goes through the whole song. It's kind of in the background. It's really low for me. Oh yeah,
I thought that was Maxine.
No, that's
wow.
Yeah, but it's too low. So I was right up on the microphone. But it should have been Maxine. We didn't think of that. But David Foster was like, I'm sorry, Babyface, asked me to do it. So I can't even do it. It's too low. I sound terrible.
I know exactly what part you're talking about.
Yeah, that's me. And then I did the part where it was Cindy's part was my part. I sang that part. So she ended up singing it when I left. But they kept me through the song. I can hear my backgrounds. I look in your eyes. I hear me. How our heart aches. And then I hear myself, of course, Don't Let Go is there. On the song Right Direction. I can't listen to those songs. That album makes me cry because I'm not there with them. And I love it because Terry sings twang on this song. She's a very Southern girl anyway. So it's perfect for her. And it's and it's got this twang guitar, like acoustic guitar in there. And it's just so perfect for her. Perfect for her. But I hear myself in the background.
Yeah.
I hear myself on Too Gone Too Long. I'm on there.
And see, my problem is I want to hear your leads. Like, I want to hear that album with you in the lead where you should have been, but...
I know. Well, you know what? Someone just sent me a copy of, what is the other song that I did? And they were like, don't we hear your lead on whatever?
Oh, yes. There's a remix version where your lead is still in there.
Exactly. Yes. It was an up-tempo version. Yeah, exactly. So... yeah, I mean, I love Right Direction too. Me too, Robert. So it's really sad. Some things I just can't listen to because I get too emotional, and then I get angry, and I'm just I'm all over the place, Jason. I'm all over the place. But thank you so much. I'm proud of. I love Masterpiece Theater, even though it wasn't on that album. That was the one they did after. I had nothing to do with that album, but I thought it was brilliant because they're using classical music to they wrote to classical pieces, and classical music is you can use the music without having to pay licensing rights because it is public domain.
Right.
So you can use Beethoven, you can use who else? Chopin, and you can use all of these greats for them, and that's what they did. And I just thought, wow. But it didn't work because I wasn't there.
Yeah. Oh, there you have
You
it.
know, God don't like ugly, but I think that album is so great. Sad But True, I think, is on there. That song is a little depressing to me, but I thought, wow, you guys sound really great. But you still need me in there. I'm missing. I'm definitely missing.
Mm-mm.
I'm hating a little bit, Jason. I'm hating just a little
I'm
bit.
hating with you. Let's see. Somebody said that Ivan Matias, I'm going to say his name wrong, has the full version of that album with you on it. Y'all, like, call him, message him,
Wow. Oh my
make that happen.
gosh.
I
I
need to
did.
hear it.
Okay, so since they put his name out there, I'm gonna say he's the one who told me that they want me out of the group. Ivan's the one who told me. It's going in my book too. So Ivan, I love you, but you know, they shouldn't have been so evil. We should have been together. The girls should have had my back. It was 8 years that we were together, and now all of a sudden the record company says, "Hey guys, so guess what? We're gonna get behind you guys." And I'm like, first of all, you had Terry do a solo album. You had me do a solo album. You kicked me out of the group for doing a solo album when Terry did the same damn thing.
Mm-hmm.
And now all of a sudden you guys want to come and you want to have our backs. Like, where were you 7 years ago, 6 years ago, 5 years ago, 4? Like, come on. Now all of a sudden, 8 years in, you have our backs. You should have been there from day one, and we should have been making millions of dollars. So I was the only one saying, hey guys, there's something wrong here. We're not making any money. Yeah, because Frank Gatson had a mansion. Frank Gatson. Did you hear my words? Frank Gatson had a mansion. It's not that Frank didn't deserve a mansion. He absolutely did. He deserved exactly what he got. He deserved a mansion because he worked hard. But I just felt like we deserved the same thing. Oh, you think? And Vogue should be paid too. Really? You think? And Denny, our producer, had a mansion too. And I was like, wow, so this man has a mansion. And when we walked into it, sorry.
Come on, Lisa.
Sorry, what happened? Oh, Lord. I hit the wrong button. So yeah, he had a mansion, and I just thought we should have the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
There's no reason that we should not have what Denny, our producer, has a mansion. He wouldn't have been who he is. And Vogue are the bigger names.
Yeah.
We made Denny a household name. He was in Club Nouveau. Him and Tommy both were in Club Nouveau. They had the Tonys before us, but they were not rich like we made them. So why is it that you have all this money and Terry, Maxine, Cindy, and Dawn do not? And that's all I was asking. And because I asked all those questions, they were like, we got to get rid of her.
Ah, troublemaker.
Troublemaker. I think
So,
I'm going to title a song Troublemaker because that's me. I am.
you should sing about it. Why not?
Yes.
So, how were you able to get over those hurdles to come back together for that 2008 reunion?
Oh, 2008 so in 2008 we did Don't Forget the Lyrics.
Okay. Yes.
Yeah.
With Wayne Brady.
With Wayne Brady, exactly.
Okay.
I see. I'm tooting my own horn because I am amazing, but I'm sorry. I got all the answers right to the categories that they didn't know. So the country western, yeah, that's the right answer. And ding, 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 Dawn's right. Yes, that's the right freaking answer. In the rock and roll category, yes, ding, 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 Dawn's right again. So I was proud of that. I'm just proud. But so they asked me to come and do that, and I did. And then in 2009, they were like, okay, we're working towards 2010, which is our 20-year anniversary at that time. So we need Dawn back to do that. And I said, okay, I think this is great, you guys. And we were also waiting for the right deal to come to the table. And I'm like, well, you know, this is the 4 originals. We can call our own shots. We don't have to wait for a major label. They wanted to do the major. So we had 3 deals on the table. Sony was one of them. Roughtown was the other. And Warner Brothers, yeah. And I just knew for sure. I said to myself, I said, you know, they're not going to choose the lesser of the 3. Come on. It just doesn't make sense. And sure enough, they picked the lesser of the 3. And I was left out because I didn't sign. I was like, you guys, this doesn't make sense. And sure enough, they got sued by Roughtown. All this stuff happened. Maxine sent me a message about a month after they signed and said, Dawn, you're absolutely right. This Roughtown deal is crap, and we probably have to sue to get out of it. And I was like, oh. again, I have to pop my collar because I told you guys, like 3 heads should be smarter than 1. I shouldn't be the only one thinking, okay, Rough Town doesn't have that kind of money. They have never had an artist of our caliber to bring us back to fame again. You know what I mean? They had never done it before. So what makes you think that a small label like this can do that, and that they can pay us $50,000 a piece? Read the contract, you guys, because the contract in the first page, second paragraph says you get $10,000 upon signing, and you get you receive another $40,000 if, capital IF, if the album is successful. You're not going to get $40,000, $50,000 up front. You get it. And Maxine was like, Dawn, you were right. Oh, really? So now in hindsight, you want to say that I'm right, but it's too late. You guys are already in a contract, and I'm not signing it just to be with you guys. So good luck with that. So I had to leave again.
Yeah. Yeah. As you can see, I'm still heartbroken. So.
I know you are. I am too.
Yeah.
Come on. It makes no sense. It's like, I just wish that conversation would have been had. Again, that's all communication. They were so pissed at me that she, like I said, she sent me a message a month later. So I would say a month before, we were on the phones having a conversation, and they were like, Dawn, Maxine, Terry was like, Dawn, just tell me, I just want to know why you don't want to sign. And I said, last I looked, I'm a grown woman. That's one. I don't have to explain anything to you. But if you read the contract, if I have to explain it to you, read the contract and you'll see for yourself. Well, I don't have to read. Okay. And that is why we're in trouble right now. Black people don't read the fine print. We always get ourselves caught up because we don't read. The contract says you only get $40,000 after the album, you know, does its thing. So, yeah, but we have Rodney Jerkins wants to sign, do our album if we sign to Warner Brothers. That's a much better deal. So why don't we take that deal?
I'm sorry, but the potential of you guys working with Darkchild, oh, stop it.
Jesus.
Stop it. Who can I shake? Who can I shake?
Terry, Cindy, Maxine, that's who. Even our producer, Denzel Foster, had the nerve to get involved. He's like, Dawn, he sent me an email. Why don't you just sign the deal? You always have to make problems. You always got to make waves. Nigga, if you don't get out my face, I am not little Dawn anymore. I'm a grown woman.
Okay.
And I said, Denny, with all due respect, because I had to be nice, this deal is not right. And his friend was the one who wanted us to sign to. It was Renee and Angela.
Oh yes, yes.
Renee and Angela. So Renee is the one who had Rough Town Records.
Okay.
And that was Denny's friend, and that's how we got the deal offered to us in the first place. So they were all behind it, and that I found out in hindsight. But yeah, Denny was behind the whole thing. So that's why he wanted us to sign so bad, so he could control and manipulate the whole thing. And I wasn't having it. I didn't know that at first, but thank God. I was like, no, this deal is crap. I'm not signing this mess. Sure enough, the other girls, and then Cindy and Terry, maybe about a week after Maxine sent that email, we were doing a fitting in Hollywood. And Maxine lived in Virginia, so we had to do her fitting for her without her there. And I was waiting, because Maxine and I are about, well, Max is 4'11". She's really short. But boob-wise, we were the same size. So they wanted me to kind of fit her clothes. And when Cindy and Terry got there, Terry was like, Dawn, before you leave, we have to talk to you about something. And I was like, I already know. I already know you guys are caught up in a bad deal. And she was like, how do you know that? And I said, because Maxine told me. And I knew the deal was bad when I read it. Oh my God, if you just wake up and look at things for what they really are, you guys, please don't let this be a hindsight situation. Let's figure it out. I told you guys, I begged them. Jason, I swear to you, every phone call we would have, I would always say to them, you guys, we're better than this. We deserve more. Right now, we can call our own shots. We are in Vogue. We're the 4 originals. Let's just wait. Let's wait for the right deal.
Yeah.
And that that Warner Brothers deal with Rodney Jerkins, I thought was the best one. Because Warner Brothers wanted to give us, they wanted it to, they kept saying, well, we want to do a play with you guys based on your lives for real, like Dreamgirls, but for real. Based on Vogue. We want to do a movie like Dreamgirls, but for real, because it's you guys. We want to do, Rodney Jerkins is going to do your album, and the play, and he'll do the music for the movie. Everything that we wanted. Oh my God, I get sick when I talk about it. It just makes me ill.
You're making me sick, so thank you. It's contagious.
Isn't it? Isn't it? Oh my God, these girls. Yeah.
Okay. Well,
that's the group I come from.
Yes. So
I love them. I love them, but I just sometimes I just think, oh wow, are we just that dumb? You guys really just open your eyes. I've come back to this group several times throughout the years, and each time I come back, you guys are no smarter than when I left. You're supposed to get smarter with age, have more wisdom with age about the business. They didn't.
Well, speaking of coming back every time, there was a fabulous one night only coming together of Jesus and everybody else.
Which night was that?
Sylvia Rome's events where EB5 came together. Everybody that has ever carried that name, pretty much. I know. I've heard the stories. We're not going, bash anybody. But I will say that as a fan,
I have an opinion, though. I do have an opinion. I have an opinion.
I know you do. I know you do.
Yes.
I'm going to say, as a fan,
yes.
It blew my fucking mind. It was a fucking moment. But
it was a fucking moment.
It was another fucking moment. But as a member of the group and as a member of that particular ensemble, how did you feel?
I loved, first of all, I didn't want to do it because Sylvia wasn't paying us. So you didn't pay us the whole time that we were in Vogue. You 2 pennies a record, and you still don't want to pay us for this charity that you want us to do? Now,
well, she got money.
She got money, and not only that, anytime people do a charity, they raise all this money, but they get paid to do the charity.
Sure.
So Sylvia Rome got money too. Now, maybe she declined it because she's already rich, but the people that put it together, all of them got paid, and you can't pay in Vogue, the group that made you a household name. I'm not I just don't get that. Like, it makes no sense to me. So I told Maxine, no, I'm not doing it. She's like, Dawn, please. Oh my God. We're doing the Funky Divas idea, the group, the duo, you and I. So let's do this together, just please. And I was like, oh, okay. So I told them no at first, and they brought Rona in because I said no. And so when I got to rehearsal, she was there. Of course, they couldn't tell her, no, now that Dawn is back, you can't do it. That would have been rude, and I understood why they had her there. I still didn't like it, but I understood. And to me, it's not that I don't like her. I think she's a great woman. I think she's really sweet. She's been kind to us in the press, but I don't think her blend is the same as ours. Her vocals are different. Yeah, and she's way too tall. She just doesn't fit the look of En Vogue. So Cindy's taller than all of us, but Cindy's only 5'6". I'm 5'3". Terry's 5'3". So she's not that much. But Rona is like 5'8", 5'9", and she's super tall. And then heels on is like, what? Yeah. So, yeah, I just thought that Sylvia should have paid us, and she didn't. So I was really kind of, yeah, I was pissed off, to say the least. Excuse my phone.
No, it's okay. So go ahead.
I loved it because it was us, and I thought, okay, if Rona has to be here, it's fine. We'll make it work. And so about 2 months before that, we had a meeting with all of En Vogue, and I drove to LA from Vegas to meet with them. Maxine was there, Terry, Cindy, and myself. No Rona, and me and Cindy got into it about why they think Rona should be there, and I said no, if we're going to do a reunion, oh no, we're not calling it a reunion. We're going to call it an anniversary. I was like, anytime you get back together with someone that you haven't seen in a long time, it's a reunion. You can say whatever you want. And a fan recently gave me an example that I have to use in my interviews now. And I said, I'm going to use that because I really like the fact that he said, when there's a high school reunion for class of 88, class of 87 is not going to show up. Class of 89 can't show up. This is class of 88. In our case, this was class of 90.
Yeah.
And we wanted to, my thing was with Cindy, I kept saying, I just want us to be able to celebrate without Rona there. She was not there to build the foundation of who En Vogue became. She was there to benefit from what En Vogue did. but she was not there from the beginning to live out of a suitcase and travel around the world. And so, and another example someone else gave me is that right now she is literally, the other day just celebrated 30 years with Mickey Mouse Club. Was Terry I wasn't invited. Yeah, I don't think Terry, Maxine, and Cindy were invited to that. So come on, y'all. Like, I just don't understand why they wanted to force feed Rona on us. We didn't hire her. So it wasn't up to Maxine and I to celebrate her. She should have just sat it out like she did in 2010. And I'm sorry, yeah, was it 2010? 2010, yeah, for our 20-year anniversary, and let us celebrate with our fans what we created with them. And then 6 months later, we could have just done 6 months for this year. COVID would have made it a mess anyway, but we could have done some stuff online. I don't know, whatever. And we could have done a lot. I'm sure that they would have made amends for a lot of stuff we wanted to do, and just come. We could have recorded. Come on, we could have recorded an album or a single, yeah, and come together for that. And they just Rona. I'm like, so I feel some kind of way because they didn't fight to keep me in Vogue in '97. They were so busy kicking me out and tossing me out that I'm like, oh God. And I told them that you guys are really fighting hard to keep Rona in this group. You're fighting really hard to keep her, but you didn't fight for me at all. Zero. So I am not with the whole Rona thing. And it would have been nice if you guys just had my back a little bit. But you're so eager to kick me out with the record company, you didn't have my back. So I'm sorry, not sorry. I think that we need to do this without Rona. And if we don't, then I'm not in it.
Got it.
Yeah.
I
and they had other stipulations too. They had a list of things before we got there that they wanted to do. And it was all about their reunion. They didn't listen to Maxine and I. What do you guys think about? Do you have any ideas to bring? You know? And they were cutting me off with every little thing that I did bring up. Like, no Rona. You guys have got a list of stuff that you want us to do. These are all your ideas for En Vogue. You know, do a tour, a few dates. This is before Corona happened, coronavirus. So they thought we were going to do a tour. And I'm like, that's great. But why can't we do this? And everything I brought up, they kind of shot down. So I was like, this is going to be the same old shit. And then, so when we did that reunion for the charity event with Sylvia Rhone, I wanted someone to come in and film Maxine and I because we were doing the Funky Divas little duo thing together, which Cindy and Terry, by the way, fought for that name. And they just recently won it because I wasn't willing to put up money. I don't have an attorney. I don't have money for an attorney. So they won it.
Wow.
Oh my God. My thing is, how many motherfucking names do y'all need at one time? You already have En Vogue.
Yeah.
And you want Funky Divas too? These dirty bitches. Like, really, I cannot. You guys just did that because you're vindictive. And you know that Maxine and I are out there going to be doing something that may be a threat to you two. And so you're going to cut us off and stop us. You stopped us from using En Vogue. I can never use the name En Vogue. Ever. Right. Doing a solo show, they would send me a cease and desist. Although they would use my picture for a lot of stuff. And they think, oh, we're overseas. Dawn's not going to see it. And my fans were like, Dawn, are you going to be in Scotland tomorrow with Cindy, Terry, and Rona? No. Well, they have your picture here. I'm like, cease and desist. You know, they would send me cease and desist all the time. So I sent them ones too. But the fact that they didn't want us to use Funky Divas. And they were like, well, we can split it. We can use it sometimes and you guys use it. I'm like, you guys don't use the word Funky Diva, the term Funky Divas. You don't use that title for anything. So they had an attorney hit us up. And I was like, Maxine, I am not willing to spend money on an attorney for this. No, I don't have it. I can't afford an attorney. And they knew it. So they won it. Good for them. You guys have at it. You have En Vogue and you have Funky Divas. So good luck to you. It was just dirty. You know, there's some things that people do that I always say is mean-spirited for no reason, just evil. And that to me is one of them.
Oh my gosh. Well, all of that being said, we thank you so much, the original 4 members, for giving us what you've given us over the years and your various iterations and reunions.
Thank you so much.
It may not ever happen again, y'all. It may not ever happen again.
What'd you say? What'd you say?
I said it may not ever happen again.
I won't say never. Never say never. You're never gonna get it. Ooh, bop. I won't say never, never, never. I'll just say I don't think anybody would want to work with people that did me the way that they did, including Maxine. I had to really look at myself like, why do you keep going back to this abuse? Yeah. You know what I mean? It's like for the sake of music or nostalgia or, oh, I miss them, I love them. Well, they didn't miss you. They didn't love you. They kicked you to the curb, no problem. So I always ask people, would you go back to your old boyfriend or girlfriend, somebody that cheated on you and really mistreated you? Would you look at that and say that that is a good relationship and I want to go back to that? Yeah. That pain and all the stuff that you felt. You know, they have not vindicated me either by saying, Dawn, you did not break up the group, because they always blamed me. But Terry really was the first one to break up the group because she did a solo album without us. Even though she was still with Denny and Tommy, she still did a solo album. It was not an Vogue album. So she was really the one to step outside of the group and do a project that had nothing to do with the three of us or in Vogue at all. It's very difficult to, because I was always the forgiving one and always so loving and, oh my God, it's okay, you guys, and I love you and I'll come back. And it was always that. It was always me doing that with them. And anytime the four of us would get in the room and try to talk about what happened, Terry would never, ever admit, you were dating Denny, and that was the problem. Because as long as you were over there with him, we couldn't renegotiate our contract. Because you were over there. You were over there with him. Oh, yeah, it's a known fact. I'm going to put that in my book as well. But you were over there with him. And that made it so that me, Cindy, and Maxine could not renegotiate or negotiate in any way. The record company didn't want to hear from us three. They signed four. Where is Terry? Cindy, Maxine, Dawn. They don't want to hear from just us by ourselves. So there was no way to really, we were just sitting idle, waiting for Terry to come back.
Wow, that is something.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Well, again, thank you for all that you did give us while you were together.
You're welcome. Of course.
Absolutely. We appreciate it.
And thank you for loving us. Thank you for loving us. Y'all loved us into stardom. We wouldn't have been who we are without you guys. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So there is one more song on your list that you mentioned previously, Mas Que Nada.
Yes.
Brazil 66.
Yes, it's fun.
Yes, please share a little bit of that with us.
I have Lisa Fisher queued. Let me see. She's queued up. How am I doing this?
Yes.
You're coming back again. The pain in my heart. How can I ease the pain?
Sing it.
Ease the pain in my heart. I'm such a big mouth. Oh God. Okay, so Mas Que Nada.
Mm-hmm.
So it's queued up to a certain point. Let me see. Mas que nada, sana minha frente que quero passar. Poxa, samba está animado, o que eu quero é sambar. Este samba que me chuta na cara do. Essa samba de preto, samba de preto. Oh, mas que nada, sana como está toda. Você não vai querer que eu chegue no final. So yeah, it's I was
love
singing that
it.
as a little girl. I was singing that stuff. Yeah, man. My parents were very diverse musically, and they opened their minds to all kinds of music that made my world what it was. I love that my parents raised me that way. My mom could have easily said, "Oh, Johnny, why are you playing all that rock and roll, that Led Zeppelin in the house, that Beatles stuff? I don't want to hear that." You know? And she was like, "No, Chicago, I love Chicago." She
Oh, yes.
embraced it. Yeah, she embraced it. So the Eagles, you know, a lot of great music.
So that's funny that you mentioned Chicago because their biggest hits were with producer David Foster, who you
Well,
eventually got to work with, right?
their biggest hits were, but I think the better material happened before David. When they got to David Foster, it was great music, don't get me wrong.
Right.
But it was not.
It wasn't their distinctive Chicago thing.
Yeah, it was more fluff.
Mm-hmm.
It was the soft ballads. They got a lot softer, and it was like, oh, I am a man, I am a knight who will fight for your honor. It was a sweet song, but it wasn't Chicago, like New Beginnings and 24 or 25 or 624. That was a great song. That was the Eagles that I was used to. So I love David. I think he softened them up a little too much and made them wimpy instead of rock and roll, you know. But yes, David did Too Gone Too Long. He did Too Gone Too Long. Thank you, Tanya. Thank you. Mascanada, yeah. Oh, which one? Which song is a great song?
Don't know. Which song are we referring to is a great song?
One of these nights. Oh my God, sing the notes on one of these. Oh, let me try that. That's a good song. You mind that? Do you mind?
Go ahead. Go ahead.
I'm gonna do. Oh my God, what y'all know about Eagles? The Eagles. What?
Oh,
stop! One of these nights. That now these are guys singing this. This is the Eagles.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. What? Come on, y'all. I'm proud of y'all. Look at this. So one of these nights, let's go. Oh my God, the Eagles are the world. They're the world, you guys. They are just the world. It's just.
They're great. They are
great.
great.
Oh my God, come on. Don Henley?
Yeah.
So I have to skip to the end. That's the part they're talking about. What else can y'all think about? What is Hotel California? Yes.
Classic. Classic.
Mm-hmm. Hold on. Song. It's just a little different for me because they're singing in their falsetto.
Oh yeah.
And we don't have that. Yeah, women don't have. It's different. I can't explain it.
Yes. So, yes, it is.
What other song did they mention? Somebody mentioned something else.
Somebody said Hotel California and something else I saw.
Yeah, but Hotel California, there's no high notes in there at all.
No.
No. Oh, I know one. Maybe in Vogue, Runaway Love.
Yes, let's do it. Absolutely.
So the end part that I sing. Oh my God, this video. We had so much fun. We were on the desert and it was hot as I don't know what, but it was so great. Oh, Maxine, I got to play the first part where Maxine says, "Are you ready to roll?" Funky Divas with a cool like stroll. Funky Divas with a cool like stroll. Summer smooth vibes to all my dear fans. It feels good to be good. Chocolate cream to me, baby. So sweet to me. Some honey bit. Drawn to you, baby. Strong magnet. Oh. Now I have to give you guys some trivia on this because I just saw Cindy's husband in the very beginning, the first man that you see.
Yes.
Actually, he's walking by himself, so I think you see two other guys, but he is the most beautiful.
And there you have it.
Glenn Braggs is in this video, and I was like, Cindy, girl. That man.
If you don't marry him, I will. No.
Huh?
If you don't marry him, I will, girl.
She had already married him, yes. So. Ooh, take me higher, take me higher. I know you can do it. Higher, 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 higher. Ooh.
Hey!
Oh, dang, Tommy is in the video too. That's Tommy, our producers. I forgot they're in there too. Oh my God, my ex-boyfriend.
Who put him in there?
Run away, love, treat a broken trash. Oh my God, y'all got me reminiscing.
Hey!
Yes, good.
This is so great. Oh my gosh.
Thank you so much, Jason. You got me singing. I'm just like, I haven't sung in a while.
I'm loving it.
It's raspy, so thank you.
I like the rasp. It's sexy. Yes, ma'am.
Well, thank you so much. This was fun.
Absolutely. Thank you. Thank you so much for joining me. This has been incredible.
It's been wonderful. Thank you so much.
Before we go, please tell the people where they can find you and what you got coming up next.
I have, oh my gosh. So I just started Stiletto Entertainment. That's my label, and I'm so proud. And I was gonna, I'm writing my autobiographical book too. So my whole story, all the stories that I just told you, is all gonna be in there. And I think I'm gonna give Lucy Pearl a separate book because I want that to have its life, a life of its own.
Okay.
I think it deserves, you know, the spotlight by itself. Mm-hmm. Thanks, you guys. I love you guys. Waiting on You. Oh my gosh. Wow. Waiting on You was that was our first. That was our audition. And I actually say they put my audition on the record. So I'm proud of that too.
That's crazy.
So I'm working on my autobiographical book, and it's right now I have the option of investors, which I've been waiting for a long time because it takes money to put out music. Everybody's like, oh, I can get you some tracks and we can record. But I'm like, okay, once we record, we need marketing dollars. We need videos. We need promotional dollars. We got to pay radio still, pay to play. Mm-hmm. So I can record, but we have to have, how do I do a video? You got to be able to compete with what's out there. So even though we don't pay what we used to for videos anymore, they still, in order to have a good video, a great video, you want to, I'm still competing with the Rihannas and the Jasmine Sullivans and the, you know what I mean? The Rihannas of the Beyoncés of the world. So still have to have great videos, still have to have a photo shoot, got to pay for recording. I got to pay the producers. I got to pay the engineer. So I got to pay for studio time. So I will either do Do it through an investor or through crowdfunding campaign, like Kickstarter.
Okay.
Because I saw other people doing it, you know, other celebrities, TLC and Kristen Bell and, you know, Whoopi Goldberg, James Franco. A lot of celebrities have done it. De La Soul, they did one. So I'll see.
All right. Well, hey, stay tuned, y'all. I'm sure that many fans, including myself, would definitely support a crowdfunding effort
Oh,
to
oh
hear
my
new music.
God. Thank you so
Yes,
much, Jason. I love you for that.
absolutely.
Please have me back on your show so I can sing
Yes,
some more.
gladly. This has been so fun.
Exactly. And then I want to hear what you think about my album when it comes out.
I can't wait.
And
I'm
my
excited.
book. And my
Well,
book.
well, ma'am, you got my email, so you can definitely slide something my way. Just
Yes,
say.
exactly. Yes,
Just
exactly.
say.
I will. You know it. You know it.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for being my guest. Thank you,
I had a
everybody, for
blast.
tuning in to 5 Songs That Changed My Life. You were actually my last guest of this year, so there could not have been a better way to end things off.
Yay. I love that. Yeah, well, that's a good way to end the
There we
year.
go. Perfect. Perfect. Well,
Let's say
thank you
hi
so
to some
much.
people. Phonice, how
Yes.
are you? Phonice, hello. Hi, you guys. Oh, my. Alana, I saw you the whole time. Mocha Bell. Hello, Mocha Bell.
Yes. Carmita and Manita, I see y'all. Hey, y'all.
Exactly. Hi, guys. Shakiri, I think it is. Chocolate Bro. Hi, Chocolate Bro. Hey, Mark, how are you? Don't let go. Hi, guys. Oh, a lot. That was Aaliyah and Vogue Lover. That's Aaliyah.
Oh, hello, Invoke
Hey.
Lover.
Hey, you. I forgot who Tony TLC. You got to put your name in that somehow. Robert, how are you, Robert? Good to see you guys.
Awesome. Thank you all so much for tuning in. We appreciate your time and attention and love. It's been great.
Yes.
Thank you so much, Dawn. You have a great night.
You're
Take
welcome,
care, y'all.
Robert. Thank you so much. I appreciate you, Jason. Take care of yourself.
Bye.
Bye, guys.